let's talk about all the rhetoric that's spouted out of the mouths of our Congress people when they talk about black people, or they talk about Muslim people, or they talk about, hell, any of a number of people of color. Right now, your president is featured in a manifesto of the New Zealand killer that killed 49 people.
Man, and that dude was an Australian. Like, that story has so much wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
The dude came from Australia. He's a white nationalist in Australia that went to New Zealand, who has probably historically the lowest murder rate, lowest rate of violence.
Right.
And shot up a mosque full of Muslims that had fled from war-torn countries. It's like, man, that's so fucked up. And then videotaped this shit.
Right.
So
you had a body cam.
Why didn't well, it's a stupid question because this happens in America over and over again. White shooter, they make it out without a scratch on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they need to murder these motherfuckers, man. They need to shoot him. How? Like, I still didn't see how they got him in custody.
I don't know. I haven't read the story. I've listened to the news reporting, but I haven't sought to look and read to see how the whole takedown happened. But it does boggle the mind, doesn't it? It's like, okay, so you moved from Australia to New Zealand and you sat and you waited and you planned and you walk into a mosque that had people during worship, and there's women and children, and literally some of the reporting said while people were shot and pleading for their lives, he walked up to them and
shot them.
Executed them. And so, and you have this, what, 400, 500, how many pages was his manifesto?
Shit, I don't know. It was a lot. Man, and come to think about it, okay, so in Birmingham, Alabama, or maybe even right outside of Birmingham, I think it was in, starts with a H. Shit. I love Birmingham. But right outside of Birmingham, there was a mall. There was a shooting in the mall. There was a black man there. He was a military member, or maybe former military member.
Yep.
He was legally carrying a weapon, much like your boy, it's a damn shame I forget his name. No, I don't. Castile, yeah. And he legally had his firearm. He did exactly what you're supposed to do when there's a shooting and you have a legal firearm on you. He pulled his firearm, and I mean, that at that point, before the police got there, that was your only hope for safety, is this black man with a gun who was not the shooter. Police ran up in there, stormed there, killed the motherfucker.
That's
man.
right, lit him up.
Killed his ass.
Lit him up.
So it's like, yo, the dude, Dylan Roof, shot up a black church. Took his ass to Burger King, right? The dude that shot up the movie theater in Colorado,
right?
That motherfucker looked like he was dressed up for the movie, but he got out of there without a scratch on him. You look at this latest dude here, right? It's like, yo, a black man with a gun who is not the bad guy.
Well,
they're getting gunned down.
Always. Well, always. And that is what we're talking about. You know, last show we were talking about, or previous shows we talk about disparities. Anybody white, doesn't matter where you are, anybody that's fair skinned is going to be given the benefit of the doubt. You know, you see a black man with a gun side by side with a white man with a gun. Who do you think is going to get tagged as a perpetrator first?
Here's my question then. As black people, right? Because historically, and it was taught by the Panthers and even the new Black Panthers, arm yourselves, right? If we can't if we can't operate under the same laws that our white counterparts operate under, right? Which is the Second Amendment. We can't even have a fucking gun. And there was a social experiment I watched a while ago where a white dude's walking down the street, AR-15 on his back, right?
It was all good.
He got stopped by the police. Cops, what you doing? Just exercising my right. All right, let him go. Same area, a black man walking down the street, AR-15 on his back. They ain't asked no questions. They jumped out, guns drawn, get on the ground. So it's like, if we can't operate under the Second Amendment, how are we supposed to protect ourselves?
But the problem is, see, you're talking about the Second Amendment. As a people, we've never been able to operate within the confines of the law as our white counterparts. We never have been able to. So, federal law, be it federal law, state or city, we've never been able to operate as our white brothers and sisters.
So how do we?
We don't. And that's the thing. And that's the problem.
So you're saying we cannot, period.
We cannot. I mean, show me one instance where we have been able to.
Hey,
tell me.
I don't know. I'm asking the questions here. Shit.
That is the issue, and that's what we're talking about. We have never been able as a people to operate within the confines of the law.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter what side we're on. We're always on the side of wrong. I said previously, and we say this all the time, innocent until proven guilty.
Yep.
That is the case of everybody else. Black people are guilty until proven innocent. That's always been our cross.
Yeah.
Period.
I agree 100%. But so at some point, though, we have to be able to protect ourselves, to protect our families, to defend ourselves.
Anarchy. I mean, not that.
I actually, I agree with that shit. Let's go to the Capitol with some. But what I'm saying is, we like this is gonna sound fucked up saying it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Somebody, I'm not volunteering. Somebody has to be willing. Multiple people have to be willing to give up their lives.
And multiple people were willing.
They were.
Multiple people died.
They did.
To try to give us the rights.
They did.
In the land of the free and the home of the brave. And in spite of their sacrifice, 2019, we are still fighting.
Now, when I say somebody has to die or be willing to give up their lives, I'm talking anarchy. I'm talking about running up on, let's do the same thing that they're doing to us. Not that I would recommend this, but I'm saying it's almost to the point where that's what needs to be done. We need to do the same thing to them that they're doing to us, because at the end of the day, even if nothing changes, they will know how it feels. They will know how it feels to have their children murdered in cold blood. They'll know how it feels to have their sense of safety, their sense of protection stripped away from them. Because right now they could walk these streets and feel like, yo, I'm safe. I'm good. The police got me.
That's right.
Nothing's happening to me.
Everybody got me.
I get fucking nervous going to the gas station to get gas because it's simple shit. Like I can't do simple shit. Like I make a wrong turn or some shit like that.
And I get pulled over by the cop.
You can't even go to work.
It'll be a Sandra Bland situation.
Exactly, man. So I think, in my opinion, now this is the revolutionary in me is saying we need to do unto them an eye for an eye type of shit, and let's get it cracking. But I just don't want to volunteer to do it. I need somebody with a lot less to lose, but. Nah, but in all seriousness, I think that's what it's going to take is for somebody to jump out there and say, fuck it. But we need more than one person.
But see,
well, then where is it going to end?
We need a militia. We
need a militia.
That would have to be an army.
What do you mean, where's it going to end?
An eye for an eye. Everybody's going to be blind by the end of it.
That's all good. Because, I mean, short of that, what options do we have? Because right now, we can't treat them the way they treat us without harsh repercussions, right? So we also can't live under the same laws. Well, we're not protected by the same laws that they are. So we're already at a disadvantage. We're financially at a disadvantage as well because of, as we always talk, unequal economics. So with the board stacked against us,
family had $500.
right?
Seriously.
Exactly. And that, we talked about that last episode. But like what else is there left to do? What can we do? I mean, other than an all-out war, I don't know.
Man, look, I threw Anarchy out there facetiously because I believe in the rule of law.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you just said that law does not protect us, though,
and it doesn't, and it's true.
So you believe in the white man's law.
But the reason why I studied the law, the reason why I became a lawyer is because in my head, it's like, get into the system, learn the system so that you could fix the system. And in its own way, that's a bit of anarchy. And that's honestly what we need. We need people in the system.
Oh, we got a lot of people in the system.
Right, in the wrong system.
In the wrong end of the system.
In the criminal industrial complex.
What's going to happen, and this is just my opinion and reacting to what you're saying, is the system will swallow you whole. Because the system is not designed for you to be able to infiltrate and make change.
See, that's the thing, though. That thinking. Because we don't have to be assimilationist. We don't have to enter the system and yield to the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Neo didn't. He broke free.
That's a movie.
It's just time.
This is real life.
Guess what? Life can imitate art. We can break free of the system. We just have to get enough of us in there that are willing, like you say, to sacrifice.
Okay.
So these people that are in Congress right now that can make change, sacrifice your seat. You know what I'm saying? But and what you said is true, because once you become, it's power to the people, and I'm going in here because I want to make a change. But once you get into that position, once you get into that congressional seat, oh, this is plush. Shit, I don't want to lose this.